Let's dive into another wild story from the depths of our little corner of space. You know what they say about quiet people? They observe, they bide their time, and when they finally take action, it's deliberate and it hits hard. This time, the lesson is simple. Secrets won't stay hidden if you keep throwing fuel on the fire. She thought she could outplay me. In the end, I turned her little game into ashes. My girlfriend and I had been together for 7 years, married for 4. Not too long ago, we moved into a nice 2-bedroom apartment in a decent part of the city. It had a balcony, a solid location, and for us, it felt like a fresh chapter. We'd been growing our joint savings account for years, planning an overseas trip. Something big, something special. From the outside, we were that couple, the ones who never argued, always seemed in sync. I believed that too, right up until it all unraveled. Over time, subtle shifts started creeping in. She used to tell me every little thing, random stuff like what she ate for lunch or a funny dog she saw on the way home. Then the update stopped. She'd come through the door barely speaking, retreating straight to her phone. A quick fine or shrug replaced any real conversation. It felt like living with a stranger. At first, I chalked it up to stress, but the wall between us kept growing. Her phone became her lifeline, always locked the second I entered the room. Calls were taken behind closed doors. This wasn't the woman I married. Then came the late nights. She'd roll in hours later than promised, claiming she'd been running errands or meeting friends. One night, she didn't even bother inventing a reason, just strolled in at 10 p.m. like it was normal. The breaking point? A friend pulled me aside one day, clearly uncomfortable. He'd overheard her at a coffee shop, laughing and talking about keeping things discreet with someone named Ryan. He didn't want to jump to conclusions, but he thought I should know. My gut sank. I thanked him, kept my cool, but inside, I was furious. I started paying closer attention. She began dressing up for these supposed errands, new perfume, tighter outfits. One night, she came home and I could smell cologne on her. Definitely not mine. I stayed silent, filing it away. I needed solid proof. That opportunity came when she left her laptop open. Her email account was still logged in. She probably assumed I'd never look. Wrong. There it was, a thread with Ryan, flirty messages, plans to meet at a bar, and a hotel receipt from the previous week. My hand shook as I took screenshots, sending them to my own email before logging out. She'd never know I was on to her. I waited a couple of days, formulated my plan. Then she came home late again, spinning some flimsy tale about helping a friend. I'd had enough. I printed every screenshot and spread them across the kitchen table like evidence at a crime scene. When she walked in, I told her we needed to talk. She froze the second her eyes hit the papers. I asked who Ryan was. She tried to downplay it. Just a friend, claiming I was overreacting. You're really going to lie to me? I've got the emails, the hotel receipts. Don't insult my intelligence. That's when she turned defensive, accusing me of violating her privacy. I told her she forfeited that the moment she started sneaking around. She tried to spin it, saying I was controlling, that I didn't trust her. I wasn't having it. You got 1 hour to pack a bag and leave, I said. She cried, said it was a mistake, claimed it meant nothing. I told her her excuses meant less than nothing. She kept dragging it out, begging me to reconsider, but I reminded her there was no us anymore. She destroyed that the day she chose to cheat. As she packed, she accused me of throwing away 7 years over nothing. That, more than anything, set me off. She wanted to play the victim? No chance. You made your choice, I told her. Now live with it. She left, saying she'd stay with a friend. I couldn't have cared less where she went. The next morning, I contacted a divorce lawyer. That same afternoon, I brought him every screenshot and laid it all out. He told me we needed to lock down my finances before she tried anything shady. I explained about our joint savings, years of contributions from both of us. His advice? Freeze it immediately. I agreed without hesitation. I texted her. Divorce papers were coming, and she needed to find another place to live. She called me cruel, Said I hadn't even given her the chance to explain. My reply was simple. You explained enough when you booked that hotel with Ryan. We're done. Then I blocked her number. The apartment was in my name, so she had no claim to it, but I changed the locks anyway. I boxed up the few things she left behind, dropped them at a storage unit, sent her the code, and warned her that if she showed up uninvited, I'd call the police. A few days later, my lawyer had the divorce papers ready, filed for infidelity, and suggested bringing in a forensic accountant to examine our finances. I told him to do whatever it took. She kept trying to contact me through other numbers. Even had friends call saying she was a wreck and I should hear her out. I told them I'd already heard all I needed. The last conversation we had was her alternating between excuses and trying to guilt-trip me into feeling like the bad guy. Honestly, I can't wait to be rid of her for good. What cuts deepest isn't just a cheating. It's that slow fade when the person you love starts acting like you're just an inconvenient roommate. And then, to twist it further, they pull the you're controlling card while they're the one sneaking around. Update. When I first posted, I'd already caught my soon-to-be ex-wife cheating with Ryan and kicked her out after finding the proof. The divorce was underway, and my finances were locked down. While combing through our accounts, my lawyer discovered something suspicious. She'd opened a separate savings account at another bank, one I'd never heard of, with about $10,000 in it. He suspected she'd been quietly funneling money there for months, setting herself up to keep it hidden when we split. We'd been saving together for years, and all the while, she was stashing her own secret fund while sleeping with someone else. My lawyer said not disclosing the account could work heavily against her in court. I told him to use it to our advantage. And as for me, I decided to hit her where it would really hurt, her social circle. She'd been running around telling anyone who'd listened that I was the villain, spinning the story like I'd heartlessly thrown her out. I wasn't about to let her rewrite history. I compiled a neat little package, the flirtatious email exchanges, the hotel receipt, and a brief breakdown of her affair, then sent off anonymously to several of Ryan's friends and relatives whose contacts I dug up online. It didn't take much effort to find them. A couple of days later, a friend of mine reported back. Her reputation with Ryan's circle was wrecked. They'd cut her off, and even Ryan had started dodging her calls, probably deciding he didn't want the chaos. By the time we got to the next court date, my lawyer was prepared for battle. He presented proof of the secret bank account, showing she'd been quietly funneling away money behind my back. She tried to pass it off as personal savings, claiming it didn't matter. The judge didn't buy it and ordered the account frozen until they determined what counted as marital property. She looked like someone had knocked the wind out of her. Not long after, she somehow got hold of my new number and called in a panic. She begged me to talk to my lawyer, swearing she was broke, living at a friend's place, and couldn't keep up. Why would I help you? I asked flatly. Tears followed. She said she never meant to hurt me. She just needed a way out. I reminded her that she'd made her choice the day she started sneaking around with Ryan. She shifted the blame, saying I was being cruel and destroying her life. I cut her off. You destroyed it yourself when you chose him over our marriage, and hung up. Then I blocked the number. That call only made me more determined. My lawyer explained that hiding that account wasn't just shady. It was perjury since she failed to disclose it during the divorce proceedings. He said it could seriously damage her chances of getting anything in the settlement. I told him to push the issue as far as the law would allow. I had our joint savings account frozen as well. My personal funds were already verified as mine alone, so I was fine, but I knew she was counting on those accounts to survive. When I told her about the freeze, she erupted, accusing me of trying to ruin her and hurling insults. I just laughed and hung up. Meanwhile, the divorce process kept rolling, and my lawyer was confident we had her cornered. The hidden account had changed the game. She still tried to contact me through other people. Her friends messaged me saying she just needed someone to talk to. I made it clear I wasn't her therapist and told them to stop. Then I heard from my buddy. Ryan had vanished completely. After my anonymous info drop, he wanted no part in her mess. She was left with no partner, no cash, and no support. The court was still ironing out the final details, but between the affair evidence and the undisclosed account, the judge wasn't about to let her skate by. I made sure every step was airtight, so she couldn't pull any last-minute tricks. Update. It's been a grind, but the divorce is finally over, and she did not come out of it well. She tried every possible move to dodge the fallout, but I made sure she faced it. Once the court froze her secret account, the process moved quickly. My lawyer reminded me that her failure to disclose $10,000 was a major misstep, and we pressed that advantage. In the final hearing, my lawyer laid everything on the table. The emails proving the affair, the hidden account, the timeline of her deception. She pulled out the personal savings excuse again, but the judge wasn't buying it. He flat out called it perjury. Her lawyer argued that some of the money was hers alone, but the evidence was overwhelming. The ruling, 75% of her hidden account counted as marital property, giving me $7,500. The frozen joint account was split 80/20 in my favor because of her dishonesty, which meant another $12,000 for me. She walked away with barely $3,000 total. On top of that, she was fined $4,000 for lying to court. Her lawyer pushed for alimony, claiming she needed financial support. My lawyer shut that down instantly, pointing out that she had a steady job and had destroyed her own claim with her actions. The judge agreed, zero alimony. She was also ordered to pay half my legal fees, including forensic work that uncovered her hidden account. Another $3,000 from her pocket. By the end, she was flat broke and fuming. A few days after everything was finalized, she emailed me. Curiosity got the better of me, so I opened it. She claimed she was struggling to pay rent, still crashing with a friend, and asked if I could loan her some money to get by. She promised to pay it back. Yeah, right. I replied, you cheated, lied, and tried to steal from me. Figure it out. Then I forwarded the email to my lawyer, just in case she tried to spin it later. From what I've heard, Ryan's long gone. Her friend is apparently getting tired of her freeloading. She had moved into a tiny, rundown apartment in a bad part of town, picking up extra shifts just to cover bills. Eventually, even her friends pushed her out. I've cut off every avenue for her to contact me. New phone number, locked down social media. She's got no way back in. The truth is, the divorce took its toll. 7 years together is a long time, and I thought I knew her. But now, I'm free. I bought the car I've been eyeing for years, spend more time with my friends, and enjoy life without constant lies hanging over me. She made one last pathetic attempt, leaving a voicemail on a friend's phone, accusing me of taking her money and ruining her image. I told my friend to delete it and not waste my time. If she keeps pushing, my lawyer's ready to file for a restraining order. I hope it doesn't come to that, but I won't hesitate if needed. Thanks to everyone who's backed me through this. For now, I'm done with her and moving forward.